Stephen Curry's Golden State Warriors taking on Jason Tatum's Celtics, a rematch of the NBA Finals from a few years ago. Sans Kristaps Porzingis, who's down for the count with an injury. It was lights, camera, and no action, at least not for one of the teams that was involved in this game. If you were not listening last hour, if you haven't been paying attention here and somehow you missed it, wowzers. Gadzooks would be a word you could use to describe what happened between the Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. A biblical mismatch as Jaylen Brown scored 29 in limited action. Jason Tatum added 27. There was extended garbage time. The shorthanded Celtics, they absolutely mollywopped the Warriors, 140-88, the final score. Now, if you're bad at math, or you're just half awake, or you're hammered, that's a 52-point win for the team from Boston over the team from Northern California. A 52-point win. Did a Donald Foyle come back to play for the Warriors? My God. Wowzers. All right, so let us discuss. Does the Celtics spanking of the Golden State basketball team say more about Jason Tatum's club or more about Stephen Curry's squad? So I've got Roto-Rooter, rom-com, and leftover spaghetti. And we will combine all of these things together, and we are going to make a hammer, which is what the Boston Celtics delivered to the Warriors in this game. So if you've been listening at all, you know, first of all, that the better story is in the losing locker room. And this just is not a loss. This is more than a loss. A loss is losing by 5 or 10 points. That's a loss. Losing by 50 points. You have to try to suck to lose by 50 points. You have to be both bad on offense and defense. You have to be universally terrible to lose by 52 points. There's a guy that he's dead now, Bill Fitch, who was a guy that coached in the NBA a long time, coached the Celtics, actually. I knew him when he coached the Clippers. And he always pointed out, if a team plays hard at the professional level, you should never even lose by 20 points. That the gap of talent between the most talented and the least talented team is so small, and this is a long time ago, that you should never lose by 20 points. That every game you should have a shot to win in the fourth quarter, even if you're the least talented team, if you execute and play hard. And it's clear that Golden State did not play hard in this game. The ultimate humiliation situation. And then you had Steve Kerr after the game, Mr. Cool Steve Kerr, who's never seen the Warriors have a bad performance. There's always an excuse, right? Always an excuse. And he said the Warriors are just going to flush it. He said, just flush it. They play on Wednesday. He said, just flush it. And he was bragging about Golden State going 3-1 on the road. Whoop-de-damn-do. Road trip that included Washington, the Knicks, a shorthanded Knicks team. And so I say not so fast, my friends, because the Warriors cannot just flush it. They're going to have to contact Roto-Rooter because they've got a clog. They need a professional plumber to get rid of the clog. There's issues there. And this was a placement test, whether Steve Kerr wants to admit it or not. This was a placement test to see how the Warriors are matching up with one of the premier teams in the NBA in the regular season, the Boston Celtics, and we found out. Right? Cover your eyes. The results of that are horrific. Golden State is a tiger. They're a paper tiger is what they are. And if you look at the recent results here for the Warriors, you realize they're frauds. They're imposters. And the last 14 games, the Warriors are 0-3 against the Celtics, Nuggets, and Clippers. They're 11-0 against everyone else. So that's all you need to know. You got contenders and pretenders, and we know which basket the Golden State basketball team falls into at this particular moment. Now, speaking of the game, but we're not going to go too far away from the game because this involves Jaylen Brown. All right, second part of this. So Jaylen Brown, he sounded off on the defensive philosophy of Golden State and their strategy against him. So if you didn't hear this or didn't see it, Jaylen Brown had a game-high 29 points, but he told the assembled media following the game that it was a, quote, a little disrespectful, he said, that the Warriors left him wide open in the first quarter and dared him to shoot the ball. I double dog dare you is essentially what the Golden State defensive strategy was, and he did shoot, and boy, did he do well. At least the point total, I think he had 17 of his 29 in the first quarter. So the question is this: Were the Warriors disrespectful to the Celtics' Jaylen Brown by encouraging him to shoot, daring him to shoot? So I go no on this. I don't think this is a disrespect. I don't think that's the right term, disrespect. I don't. I know, back in my Moneyball Maller days when they would leave me open, I was the assassin. I was the sniper from downtown. That's what I did, just knock down the shot. That's what Jaylen Brown did in this game. That's how you do that. Golden State was absolutely bewildered. They were bemused by what was going on by the Celtics. And so I have a theory on this, right? My theory on what happened to the Golden State Warriors and their defensive philosophy here, it was like an old Bill Murray rom-com. The scouting report was lost in translation, okay, because they fumbled the scouting report. The Warriors thought Jaylen Brown was Russell Westbrook, and they're like, who goofed? I've got to know. And they're like, oh, we'll let him shoot from the outside, because that's how you play Russell Westbrook, who's hurt right now for the Clippers. But you just let – he's a former MVP, Russell Westbrook, from the People's team, but you just leave him wide open. And Brown put up 19 points. So it was the total in the first quarter. And the Celtics, by the time Golden State realized what had happened, they had been disemboweled by the Celtics. The inside were turned outside. The guts were all over the place. All right, now, final thought. And we will have Maller to the third degree coming up, time shifted. We go to Los Angeles now, where the Lakers took it on the chin over the weekend against the Denver Nuggets. It's now 7-0 sweep in favor of the Nuggets this regular season, as LeBron continues to have no answers on how to stop a certain star player for the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic. So that being said, we're hearing now that LeBron James has gone rogue on Darvin Ham. Where have we heard this before? LeBron acting badly towards his head coach. Report says LeBron on multiple occasions recently has sat in the huddle, getting his rest, drinking his water, rolling his eyes with bad body language as Darvin Ham goes over strategy for the Lakers. LeBron then waits for the huddle to break up, and if Darvin Ham draws a play up for the Lakers coming out of the timeout, LeBron, if he doesn't like it, as soon as the huddle breaks, LeBron will call his own huddle, and he'll tell everyone else on the court, essentially, F all that, whatever Darvin Ham just did, as the coach, and he'll just call his own play, which is just great. So LeBron James has been accused of going rogue and instructing his Laker players to ignore Darvin Ham, the head coach of the team. How much credence do you give this? So I put this as the gospel truth. I think this is the doctrine of LeBron. I believe this to be true. And from what I've seen, I don't think it's new. People think it was a shot at Darvin Ham. I don't buy that. To me, this behavior, it's kind of like leftover spaghetti in the Tupperware in the back of the fridge. It's just there. It's there. If you need it, you can go get the leftover spaghetti. LeBron has been doing this off and on throughout his career, even when he was in Miami with Eric Spoelstra, who was not established as the man. And there was chatter that LeBron wanted Spoelstra gone when he was playing for the Miami Heat. But if you look at the coaches LeBron has had, he's never wanted an alpha coach, and for the most part, he's never had an alpha coach. He's had guys like Mike Brown or David Blatt. Remember David Blatt with the Cavs? Luke Walton. Those are the type of coaches LeBron has had, and because he can do whatever he wants, and they'll allow him to do it because they know that LeBron will win a lot of games, and they'll get credit for that, and that's just the way it is. And this becomes an issue when the LeBron teams lose. When they win, it's just LeBron's a great leader. He's got a high basketball IQ. When they lose, it's like, hey, wait a minute, what the hell's going on? Bad job by you.
Oh!